I think there has been a lot of rediscovery of nationhood. I think people have wanted to latch on to figures that have added to the sense of national self-identity. But at the same time, the church has had an awful lot to gain from these people and has rediscovered some of its own identity as well, because it's found in the Celtic Saints something that is lasting here for us in the 21st century.
There's no doubt that mountains, for many reasons, attract people, battling with the elements and being tested to the limits of endurance, the solitude and the need to have time alone. And of course it can be a great day out for the family. Dr Adrian Cooper, an expert in geography, is also a writer and broadcaster, and he's built a personal database of people's fascination with mountains the world over. One of his first works was a book called Sacred Mountains.
It all began in 1984. I was flying down to work in Italy, flying over the Alps, and through the aircraft window all I could see was this extraordinary landscape. Towers of rock, pinnacles of ice and sheets of snow. It's the most extraordinary landscape I've ever seen. Everyone in the aircraft was also craning their necks. They too wanted to see this amazing sight. And that began to form a question in my mind. What was it about mountains that fascinated so many people from so many different backgrounds? So that's where the research journey started.
Adrian's work and research has led him to realize how mountains have had such an effect on so many of the world's religions.
I feel connected to so many different faiths, and I think that when we look out here we have so much in common with other people in other faiths. All over the world, the major religions have at least one thing in common, and that is mountains. The way the mountains inspired them, the way the mountains helped faiths to develop. If you look at Islam, for example, Mount Hira, where the Prophet Muhammad was inspired to form the first words of the Quran. Judaism as well, you feel connected to that. Mount Nebo, where Moses came across the Promised Land for the first time. Sinai, of course, where he was inspired by the Ten Commandments. And then in total contrast, you can also feel connected with Taoists, the amazing Taoist poet, Silin Yun, for example, who urges us to listen to the mountains, respond to the mountains. It's exactly the same thing in Buddhism as well, the 100,000 songs of Milarepa, with the same message. Hinduism as well. In the Mahabharata, we are told and urge and encourage, respond to the mountains.
So when you're out here, surrounded by these mountains, do you feel closer to God in a way?
Absolutely right. These Welsh mountains have inspired me since I was a child. My parents brought me out here many, many times, and wherever I've had the opportunity, I've come back to these amazing mountains. I've never felt that God stopped being creative at the end of the sixth day. His creativity carries on, inspiring us, offering us opportunities. And when you have landscapes like this, how can you not feel uplifted?
Yeah, I feel like I should almost burst into song.
Absolutely right. I am so inspired by the Psalms. Psalm 72. Let the mountains bring peace unto the people. And then there's my absolute personal favourite, Psalm 121. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hill.